Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we have a very exciting show, a couple of Star Wars updates to begin with, and then a really fun topic looking at some underrated and often not spoken about Star Wars deleted scenes. A lot of fun packed into today's video. So we're gonna start with the Bad Batch Season 3. Jennifer Corbett has teased something very exciting for 2024. She posted this: "After a long hibernation, I hope 2024 will contain epic, cryptic Bad Batch tweets from the Kainas and herself." They of course do the music for the show. Given we know the Bad Batch is confirmed for the new year, and the fact it's probably the first show we're getting before The Acolyte and before Skeleton Crew, I see this tweet as a massive tease. The Bad Batch Season 3 is coming soon, and a trailer appears to be on the horizon in the new year. Get ready, it's gonna be a big one. And so now my dear friends, on to our next segment. This concerns the upcoming 2026 Star Wars movie. In spite of recent reports and rumours, Adam Driver confirms he will not be returning to the Star Wars franchise, putting an end to rumours about his involvement in the upcoming film about Rey, 15 years after the events of Episode 9. Driver's decision makes sense, considering Ben Solo is dead. But if he's telling the truth, this is really surprising, and kind of a shame for Disney. He is one of the greatest and most talented assets Disney ever had. And even though it might be hard to incorporate him into those stories, I think there was an expectation a lot of us had that he would return to Star Wars one day, as a Force ghost, guiding Rey. When we're talking about fans being excited for the upcoming film, you've got to figure it's a big loss for fan hype if he's not going to be in it. And while there were reports, that doesn't appear to be the case. On the Smartless podcast he said this: "They're doing stuff, but not with me." So he's aware, we don't know if he's been approached, but apparently he's not coming back. As always, there is a chance he's not telling the truth. There is the possibility he signed an NDA, but in this case it does sound like he's being pretty definitive. Let's wait and see. There's no way to know until the film comes out. Adam Driver clearly doesn't intend to return to Star Wars, but it could be a distraction method so that when he does reappear, fans are going to be shocked, and maybe quite hyped. And as we come to the end of 2023, filming on the movie starts in the new year, sometime in the spring. So I do imagine in the next few months, we're going to hear some more concrete reports, more rumours and leaks, just as we do for every project. And now is a good time to remind you guys, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below if you've not done so. You don't want to miss any of the awesome content I have coming up, and why not give the bell a good old tickle to be alerted every time that I post a new video. So now we move on to something quite exciting. I came across a post that went viral on Twitter, where a poignant Star Wars question was put forward to the fandom, and it's a question I want to hear your responses to in the comments down below. If you could put one deleted scene back into a Star Wars movie, which one do you choose? I had to think about it for a minute, because there are several I do wish had been kept in all three trilogies, to be very frank. And today, while there are so many to choose from, I want to share with you what I've boiled down to 3 favourites, and I've chosen them based on the value or context they would have added to the film if they'd been kept in. We start with Anakin meets Padmé's family from Attack of the Clones. A common criticism you hear about Episode 2, that's been going since the film came out, is that the romance between Anakin and Padmé stands out as the weakest aspect of the movie, and even those who enjoy the prequels, such as myself, still point out they're not perfect, the wooden dialogue, and the often difficult to watch romance that the two share. And while many fans shudder at the mere thought of even more romance in the movie, the deleted scene in question actually improves how we perceive their relationship, and makes their love feel, well, natural. Part of the reason it was cut is that it breaks the flow of the rest of the movie and often feels dragged out. We can't deny the transition from the first time they see each other in years to their eventual clandestine marriage at the end feels abrupt when you rewatch it. However, it's essential to note a significant portion of their interactions was omitted from the theatrical release. These scenes unfold on Naboo, and they're somewhat cringeworthy and rather cheesy, as they depict Anakin bonding with Padmé Amidala's family around the dinner table. Throughout the sequence, Padmé's mother and sister playfully inquire about their relationship, teasing them and suggesting they should probably be a couple. Although reminiscent of a teen drama, these scenes contribute to a more gradual evolution in Padmé's feelings as she realizes her growing affection for Anakin, especially with her family subtly cheering for their union. And furthermore, the one thing that contributes a bit of intrigue to these deleted scenes is Anakin's dynamic with Padmé's parents. While her mother is delighted to see them together, her father discerns Anakin's role as a bodyguard. Concerned about his daughter's safety, he questions Anakin about potential threats, prompting Anakin to assure him he is committed to protecting her at all costs. Anakin is determined to keep everyone safe, but he doesn't understand when he's not powerful enough to save those closest to him. And from a certain point of view, these scenes plant the seeds of his flaws, as he makes a point to say he'll keep Padmé safe no matter what. A tragic irony considering the events that were going to unfold in the next film in episode 3. There is something poetic and dark about it. So that is why I wish they'd kept these scenes in. Next up, my dear friends, we turn to the sequel trilogy, a scene that really should have been kept in that takes place in The Last Jedi on Ahch-To Island, something which some critics argue may have salvaged or lessened the blow of our perception of Luke at this time. This scene was recently added in the extra section on Disney+. Rian Johnson said he regretted not putting this in the film, and he thinks it would have disproved the critics of Luke Skywalker's arc in episode 8. And this deleted caretaker scene mends Luke Skywalker's lack of personality in the sequels. It shows us there is more complexity and depth, not just sadness, brokenheartedness, and apathy, but also that he still has something of a sense of humor, and I get it. It wouldn't have changed everything about the way Star Wars fans saw the film. Those who criticized The Last Jedi would have still had their criticisms, but I see it as something of a band-aid, something to just lessen the blow. Let's dive straight into this one. In the scene in question, Luke tricks Rey into thinking the caretakers of the Jedi Temple on Ahch-To are about to be attacked by a group of raiders. Rey is confused that Luke decides to do nothing, and so she rushes to their aid, bursting into the caretaker's village with a lightsaber in hand, only to realize they're in the midst of a music festival, a party. Rey is absolutely mortified and so embarrassed, but Luke, as you would imagine, finds it hilarious. He played a trick on her, and she was duped. And for a brief moment in episode 8, we see Luke's original trilogy personality shining through. And aside from the fact this scene provides a brief moment of levity, we actually get a pretty good understanding of Luke's state of mind, better than the rest of the film. Rey is naturally angry at Luke's joke, stating she thought the caretakers were actually in danger. And Luke replies, and that's what the Resistance needs. They need someone fresh, ready to jump into action like Rey. And the line is twofold. It explains the third lesson Luke wanted to teach Rey about the Jedi, while also showing us Luke's self-esteem, among other things, is what holds him back. And the reason I think this salvages episode 8 to an extent is that Luke is saying he doesn't think the Jedi should end, but rather it needs to evolve beyond its failures, beyond its past. And he's saying it needs someone like Rey. I'm curious to hear if you guys think this would have made any difference. Let me know down below. And the final deleted scene from the Star Wars Skywalker saga that I want to highlight in today's video is from Revenge of the Sith. I've already spoken about the delegation of the 2000, but another deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith that I do think they should have kept in is in the same vein, officially titled Confronting the Chancellor in Palpatine's office. I've covered a lot of this before, so I'll keep it brief, but Padmé and the other members of the delegation of the 2000 go to Chancellor Palpatine in his office and tell him that they're worried about what he's doing with his emergency powers. He promises to restore democracy once the conflict is over, but they're worried he's going to make more constitutional amendments, and in essence, they were right to be suspicious that he was going to use his power for authoritarianism. But this scene shows important developments and skepticism from senators towards the Supreme Chancellor, and Anakin stands behind him, foreshadowing Palpatine and Vader, but also how Anakin is torn between Padmé and Palpatine, showing allegiance to both. And when they leave, Palpatine realizes the committee has more concerns they're keeping hidden, and Palpatine tells Anakin he must not trust the senators, especially Padmé. It's a dark scene, again which contributes a lot to the early rebellion, and would have rendered the political subplot of Revenge of the Sith come full circle. I think they should have left it in, so as I say guys, share the one deleted scene you would have kept in to one Star Wars movie. There are so many to choose from, I simply picked 3 which I don't think get enough attention. But with that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you. always.